This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
What if one face serum could tackle blackheads, dullness, and fine lines? Power Trip Exfoliating Facial Serum by Verify Skincare has proven it can. This biotech-powered formula combines gentle exfoliation with deep hydration to transform your skin. No dryness, no irritation. With clinically tested ingredients like lactic acid and phytospherics technology, it's all about real results. Upgrade your routine with Power Trip by Verify Skincare. Visit verifyskincare.com to start your order today. 100% money-back guarantee and free gifts with purchase. Verify Skincare. Clean, simple, powerful.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
This is Beaverville. Come on in.
It's Bob here. I got a question.
I woke up yesterday morning with a spring in my step.
Start later, please.
I could never know if the day was...
Fast forward, Ed.
Listen up. The ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Super duper, gang. Yeah. Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 27th day of May, 2025. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday on the Power Trip Morning Show. Post-Memorial Day weekend, post-Timberwolves chance to win the Western Conference Finals. Just kidding. It's not over yet, Johnny. Anyway, we'll talk about that and much, much more. Marnes will be in. We got the Frost won the championship, and the Power Trip Morning Show's here, so lots to get to. Let's see what happens, shall we? Johnny Bones will be here as well, so that's all good. Here's Neil Brennan. My name's Chris Aki. Come on in. I'm glad you're here.
Right before the start of COVID, Netflix had a party. By the way, this story's so name-droppy. I apologize in advance. This story's so name-droppy. DiCaprio was there. I don't even mention it. Netflix has a party, and it's at the head of Netflix's house, a guy named Ted Sarandos. I walk in, and it's like the biggest comedians in the world. I look over, it's like Burr, Aziz, Mulaney, Ali Wong, Sarah Silverman, Wanda Sykes, Trevor Noah, Borat. And we're like, pretty good, pretty big, Neil. All right. Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, and Ted Sarandos, who is a great man. Gives a toast, and he goes, "It's such a thrill for me to be in the same room with all of my comedy heroes." And Chris Rock yells out, "And Neil Brennan." I just thought, man, I hope someday Chris gets humiliated in front of all of his peers.
The big knockers.
Line is waiting, fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder, there's lightning in your stride. Follow warriors, never get on the lead.
Power Trip Morning Show, May 27th, 2025. I'm Corey Coe. That's Chris Hockey. That's Meat Sauce Paul Lambert. Welcome back, fellas. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
There's only one winner, and it's not
the Wolves. It's the Frost, though.
It's the Frost. They're the one winner.
The Twin Cities continues to be the home of female championships and none for the men.
That's right.
That's what we do.
Correct.
That's okay.
Our ladies seem to dominate. Our men seem to come up a little bit short.
What happened, guys? I mean, I watched the whole game.
Well, what happened is we've been begging, Nikhil Alexander-Walker and Dante DiVincenzo and Jade McDaniels and all these guys were like, where are you? It's just Randall or Ant or one of the two or both of them. Where's this bench? Where's Naz Reid? And then last night, the bench played unbelievably well.
Unbelievable.
And Ant and Randall didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, man. If Dante and Nickeil Alexander-Walker had played that well during the first two series, we would have won in 2 games and won every game by 90.
Yep, correct.
We were begging for those two versions of Dante DiVincenzo and Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We're like, where are these guys?
Yeah.
They were both unbelievable last night. They were fantastic. They did everything right. And Ant had 2 shots at halftime.
Yep.
2.
Made one of them.
2.
Yep. Randall finished with 5 points.
Yeah.
The most, how many times in this postseason? Like 3 times. Even in losses, it's like we would have lost by 40 without Julius Randle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Randall kept us in that game, or Randall won us that game. And then last night it was like, is Julius Randle already cut?
Yep, correct.
Did he already not sign his player option? Is he leaving? What's going on here? Where is he?
Yep.
Absolute no-show out of Julius Randle. So, how do you get optimistic about being down 3-1? Well, the optimism is, for the first time, the rest of the team looked like a championship-level team.
Look at you.
We just didn't get our top 2 guys to play at a championship level. And it was weird. I was driving in, listening to the show before us, and they played the audio of Ant in the postgame, because I didn't stay up and watch the postgame. I went to bed the second it was over.
Yeah.
And Ant was like, I didn't really struggle. I just didn't get a lot of shots. But I wouldn't say I struggled. I don't know. I guess.
Sure.
I mean, the 2 of you combined 1 of 10 from 3.
Yep.
I mean, Ant was 1 for 7 of 3.
Is that good?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
So is it likely over? Yeah. A 68-win team has a 3-1 series lead on you, and they're going home, right? And 2 out of the next 3, if it keeps getting extended, would be in Oklahoma City. So,
right, where you got very little chance.
Yeah, your chances are slim.
Right.
But man, we had life last night.
Yep.
They shot well, played well, just couldn't hold on to the ball. A lot of turnovers. You know what's crazy? I looked at the box score this morning because I'm like, man, Oklahoma City had 50 billion offensive rebounds, and we had none.
That's a lot.
Do you know we had the exact same number of offensive rebounds? But if you watch that game, it felt like they got every loose ball, and we got very few. They both had 19 offensive rebounds.
Yep.
I would have lost my leg if I wanted to bet it this morning. I would have been like, no chance.
No chance.
I'll bet my leg that they had twice as many offensive rebounds. That's how wrong I would have been about the number of offensive rebounds.
Yep.
Just by the eye test. Because they got them all.
All of them.
But we both had 19.
It was exactly what you just said, Corey. There were moments in that game where you're like, is Randall, is he on the, oh, no, he's right there.
Damn it, Donut.
He's just done nothing. It was just, they couldn't get any time. Why OKC is so good, right? They won 68 games. This isn't like we're getting beat by a bad team. Anytime the Wolves would find any momentum, the Thunder would just take it from them. And they just couldn't find any kind of rhythm. They almost did it at the end, and then they went into that foul mode that is the new strategy in the NBA to not let them even attempt a 3-pointer. And they lost. It sucks because if you looked at if you watched that game and there was no score, you'd go, man, I think the Wolves are going to win. And then they had all those bench points, and the bench played outstanding, and they lost by 2.
See, but the whole, we didn't have any rhythm or we didn't do anything. I actually disagree outside of the turnovers, right? We shot 51% from the floor. We'll take that.
Yep.
43.9% from 3. Unbelievably good. We'll take that.
It didn't look like that either.
Yeah, that's because some of the bigger names, like I just said, Ant and Randall couldn't hit. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dante DiVincenzo,
they played
Jaden,
for us.
those guys all were drilling threes.
They all played for us, yeah.
It was just our stars were missing left and right. And for the 1.7 billion time, never pass the ball to Rudy on offense.
Ever.
Our guy Chef Reaction summed it up so perfectly on Twitter last night. He goes, that guy has toasters for hands.
Yeah.
He can't catch.
No, he can't.
Why is that?
He is such an offensive liability. And I'm not, the whole Gobert trade, I'm not anti-Rudy Gobert trade if if you get me 17 boards and block 5 shots, I don't need you to have 25 points like you did against the Lakers. Last night he had 13 points and 9 boards. And a couple of those dunks were nice. A couple of those putbacks were good.
Yeah.
He should only, again, man, I feel like I'm repeating this take, but I don't know why the Wolves aren't listening to me.
Yep.
If you watch the Dallas series last year and watch Derek Lively and others just catch those lobs from Luka and Kyrie and whatever, that's the only time Rudy should get the ball, offensive rebounds and lobs. Every time they pass him the ball to try to like set up some kind of deep play, it's like he can't catch, and then if he does, he lowers the ball immediately, so they steal it. They know he's going to lower the ball, even though every coach in the world would tell tall players, even in middle school, keep the ball up.
Yep.
Rudy doesn't do that, so he can't catch. He holds the ball too low. They steal it.
Yep.
And then if they foul him, he mostly clanks it. Now, his free throws have been better than normal, but even last night, 3 of 6, which we'll take out of Rudy. Again, when they have 19 offensive boards and Rudy has 9 rebounds total, it kind of drives me nuts. He had 2 defensive rebounds.
Let me tell you something else, too. I saw something and I don't watch basketball. I really don't like it. Yeah, I saw something I'd never seen before. A double dribble called. I've never seen that happen ever.
Yeah. It was on Ant, right?
I know, it was on somebody else.
I thought Ant did it, too.
His foot kind of just slid a little bit. And then they called double dribble. I'm like, wait, I just watched another guy over there on the other side take 19 steps with the basketball. Yeah. Isn't that double dribble? Why are you calling it now? I don't understand basketball at all. I think it's dumb. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what else is dumb? I'm going to change the subject. I'm going to make you guys smile for a minute. You want to hear something make you smile?
Sure.
Not only did the Frost win the championship, I set my foot on fire on Saturday night.
What?
I didn't hurt myself, but I burned my shoe.
How?
Hi. Look at that.
At a campfire?
Yeah.
Or were you dabbling in arson?
I was with the Olsons.
Oh, boy.
Well,
and they got me
say less.
Butt hammered.
Yes, say less.
Whoa. What?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hang on, you're going to have to choose your words a little bit better.
You're right.
Remember who
you're sorry. You're right. They got me really wasted.
Okay.
And I wandered. I was at Grandview. Love you, Grandview. How much fun is Grandview? Love it. Had the best time ever. Got to sing a couple songs with Kat Perkins on the beach. It was just great. But Saturday night, met up with the entire Olsen family. Right? And the bar was having fun. And then they walked in and the lights were brighter and everybody started dancing on the ceiling. It was like Lionel Richie came in with his D out. That's how much fun it was, okay? But then they were buying shots.
Oh, boy.
And I ended up on the beach by myself, putting logs on a fire. I don't even know what time of morning it was. And I was singing at the top of my lungs because there was nobody else around, but I'm sure the campers were happy about it.
Yep.
And I looked down at one point and my shoe was smoking. And it's my favorite shoes.
Yeah.
And I will show Johnny Bones, I burnt my shoe almost off my foot.
Melted it.
I did.
Oh, yeah, that's melted.
Yeah, and my big toe on my right foot now goes through the bottom of my shoe.
Oh.
Yep, you're going to need new shoes.
I know, but these are my faves.
That sucks.
Thanks a lot, Olsons.
What were they serving you?
Not sure.
Oh, boy.
Don't remember, but they are fun.
Yeah,
the whole
they're
family's
great.
fun.
Yeah.
They're just nice.
Thanks, Tony.
And you know who I met? Oh, my God. You know who I just remembered this. Brett Hedican.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How much fun is that guy? Huge fan of the show. Wants to play the initials game.
Okay, sure. I'm sure Parrish would love that.
Yeah. Good dude. Played in the league for 17 years.
Man, that's super cool.
I know. Lots happens at Grandview Lodge.
That's also how the state of Minnesota works. If you just go to a random, hotspot Memorial Day weekend, there's a pretty good chance you're going to run into a former NHLer.
And set your shoe on fire.
Yep.
Especially if the Olsons are involved.
Uh-oh.
Johnny Bones.
Yes, sir.
I almost burned myself.
Yeah.
I don't know how I didn't feel it. Isn't that weird? Where you been, Johnny Bones?
Went to Denver for a couple days.
Yeah, how's that?
It was great. That is a good ballpark, kids.
Yeah.
The Twins make a trip to play the Colorado Rockies, I think the third weekend of July.
Okay.
If you're going to pick a Twins road trip to go on this year, that's the one to go on.
Really?
Yeah. It is, I think it's probably a top 5 stadium for me and probably a top 3, neighborhood around the stadium.
Really?
In terms of places to go and have fun. They really do a nice
so
job.
You're saying then that it's nowhere near the Greyhound bus station.
Well, not in terms of spiritually. No, absolutely not.
No, I just...
when in July, do you know?
I think it's July 15th, like something like that.
That's Eric Church at Red Rocks.
Oh, man, that would be fun.
So Incubus on the 10th, Avett Brothers on the 11th.
Oh, now we're talking.
And Eric Church in the middle for like 3 or 4 nights in a row. 3-day pass. Then Mumford and Sons on the 21st and 22nd.
Oh, man, that would
Red
be
Rocks.
sweet.
Let's see what I've got here. It is...
That would be...
July 18th, 19th, and 20th.
That's String Cheese Incident, then Yoga on the Rocks on the 19th, and then, 20th, you said?
Yes.
That's Alabama Shakes.
Yoga on the Rocks is not a band.
No, Yoga on the Rocks is the actual Yoga on the Rocks.
That's not a bad name for band, though.
No, it's not.
That's not a bad name for
No,
band.
it is not.
Yoga on the Rocks is playing the 7th Street Entry tonight.
Yeah, but you could go watch the Twins and then stick around for the 21st and see Mumford and Sons.
Which would be
at Red
sweet.
Rocks.
Go see Avett Brothers.
Yeah, or go to Incubus or the Avett Brothers early, and then stick around for another extra 3 or 4 days. Go to Breckenridge.
Go to hell.
Go to Golden. Go to
go to hell.
Boulder.
Yeah.
Estes Park.
Yeah.
Colorado's the best.
Vail.
Speaking of getting there early, one of the features of Coors Stadium, where the Rockies play in Denver, is that their entire right field is a third level of right field is a multi-level bar. They have absolutely just taken out all the seats
because nobody shows up,
and it's why everybody does show up now. From the foul pole to center field is a bar, and then they built another bar on top of it, and you want to get the gates open 2 hours before Rockies games, even weeknights. And the reason they do that is because they have $3 Coors and Coors Lights.
You know what that's like?
In the right field bar for 2 hours before the game. And it's a great view. Like, you're overlooking the ballpark, you're overlooking downtown Denver, you're overlooking the mountains, and the entire 20-something, 30-something population shows up there to have beers before the game, like starting about an hour and a half, 2 hours before the game.
They put a bar on top of a bar.
Pretty much.
That's like putting a vagina above a vagina.
What he said.
But wait, there's more.
There's got to be some animals that have a couple.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a bar on top of a bar idea came straight out of like Madison, Wisconsin, right?
100%.
Like, this place is great. What if there was another place on top of this exactly like this? Why wouldn't we just go sideways? Why wouldn't we just make the bar bigger? No. Let's go up.
Yeah. Let's add more.
More upwards, though.
Yeah.
Hey, sweet Corey.
Up.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have to hit the break because my computer is completely froze.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
The whole thing's falling apart.
No, it's falling apart.
All right. John Bonus is here. Marnie Gellner will be here later. Zach Halverson makes his triumphant return after a week in Disney. No Max for the day, or what's to do with Maxwell? Okay, Maxwell will be here. Sauce, your hands up.
This is brought to you by my amazing friends at Gutter Helmet and GutterHelmetMN.com. Never clean your gutters again.
The Wolves lost late last night. They are down 3-1 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Never past Rudy Gobert.
Fan.
Welcome back to the Power Trip Morning Show. Dude, this would be music if my computer wasn't frozen.
It's still frozen.
We don't
need it.
Back to the boobs. Oh. That's a song called Back to the Boobs by Wolf Merchant.
Oh, Wolf Merchant.
Yeah.
Kind of like the free throw merchant.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
Just like the free throw
They're
merchant.
similar.
Only he's a wolf.
Similar.
It's hard to shoot with paws. Am I right,
Well,
Johnny
Scott
Bones?
Howard did it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
He did, didn't
Let's
he?
play a little ball
I
here.
did not put holes in the ball.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, I never thought of that. If he scratched the S out of Boof's back, what a sentence that was. Why didn't he pop the ball?
Oh,
That's a
pop
great
that
point.
ball.
Never thought of that.
Yeah.
He had claws.
Yeah. He's a wolf.
He's a wolf.
God, that's a great scene.
It's a great
Hey, Max, can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
quick,
sure.
Since you just showed up. And
Max is
it's
here.
not Timberwolves related.
That's fine.
sorry
That's
I didn't
actually
bring you
better.
coffee.
Yeah.
There, I would say about, I don't know, 80 times a week, I ask Sauce a question, and the rest of the room loses faith in Sauce. But you're like, no, I'm going to stand behind my guy. I think my guy can get it, right? I'm like, I'll be like, name one planet, and you'll be like, I think he can do it, right?
Every time.
You stand behind him.
Of course. Behind him, in front of him, to the left, to the right. It's my dog.
Did you ever think that his lack of education would benefit you as greatly as it did on Friday?
Oh, no. What happened?
That was incredible. And that's why you always have faith in Saucy, because even when he's wrong, he's right.
He was so incredibly wrong, but the ruling was completely right. Password on Friday. Sauce said hot dog. In the way he meant it is 1,000% 2 words, but he gets bailed out by the loophole that hot dog in it is 1 word, and it's a 10-point swing in your favor. And that was the difference.
That was the game.
You guys' last clue with waiter and serve was epic. But the difference is if that goes the other way, that's a 20-point swing, and you guys likely lose. Right? Yeah. Overwhelmingly likely. So props to you guys. What an upset. Hot dog.
Who'd they beat?
1 word. Swedberg and Larry Mondello guy.
How'd that go?
Yeah, he took it really well.
I bet he did.
Yeah, he took it really well.
Losing.
Yeah, Greg might have tweeted out pictures of hot dogs or hot dog buns
he still is.
about 40 times. That was a hell of a matchup, though.
He loves
well done,
losing
guys.
and the offensive lines. 2 things he loves.
And Sauce, you did fine, but man, that was you even banged your head against the table because you realized you had probably just blown it.
Yeah,
but see, that's the thing. My blind, undying, unyielding faith in Saucy, knowing fully well that hot dog is 2 words, I just blindly supported him, and I was just like, nope, it's 1 word. It's 1 word, and it ended up working out for us. I had no idea about the other version of hot dog.
I didn't either. I was convinced it was 1 word. I don't know why.
I just sided with Sauce and was hoping that we'd get it. And we did. So shout out to Saucy, shout out to Tennessee for the ruling.
Wow.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Who? When do you play tomorrow? Or no, today?
I play
right?
today.
Yeah.
Gerdsey and I take on Tommy Olson and Zach Halverson.
You and Gerdsey were great on the pregame show yesterday, Maxo.
Thank you.
That was really well done. You gave me hope when I didn't deserve it.
None of us did, apparently.
Yeah. But it's weird, isn't it? I mean, basketball's so weird. We beat the living crap out of them on Saturday.
And we split the series with them in the regular season. These, on paper, this should be playing out. Every game should have played out like how last night's game should have played out.
It was kind of fun.
These are, it's from the outside looking in, not emotions aside. That was a really fun game. The best one in the Western Conference Finals so far, because otherwise it's been kind of ass, because it's been 3 blowouts. But these teams are so evenly matched on paper when it comes to personnel, when it comes to statistics. But the reason it's playing out the way it is and so lopsided is because of the details. And OKC is just better at the little things than the Wolves.
Yeah, they're not out there just hot dogging it.
No. See?
Right? They're taking it as seriously as possible.
I like that. Good.
Attention to detail.
1 word.
1 word.
1 word.
Hot dog.
No spaces.
You get 1 word.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations.
I went to the Frost game on Saturday.
Oh, yeah?
The Minnesota Frost game.
I know what you're going to ask.
Went to triple overtime, Johnny Bonus. In fact, all 4 games in the finals went to overtime. The Frost won yesterday 2-1. And they win their 2nd consecutive Walter Cup. Brought my daughter and my niece and my wife on Saturday. We're going to go watch the Frost. Good seats, good vibe.
And?
How long did I stay in a triple overtime winner for the Minnesota Frost? I was with my wife, my 11-year-old daughter, and my niece who's in high school.
Midway through the first overtime.
Midway through the first overtime. I thought you were going to say midway through the first period.
It's a toss-up. Really.
Midway through the first overtime.
I'm going to even play here.
I'm going to say you stayed the whole time.
Whoa.
Max is going to have faith in Saucy, I bet.
I have faith in Saucy. I don't know if I got faith in you, though, Cor. I'm going to say, but your niece was there. I feel like that's an X factor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say you guys left at the beginning of the 3rd period.
beginning of the third. Now, again, this is not my wife and my two daughters because we did famously leave after the first drive of the third quarter in the greatest comeback in NFL history.
Right. That's what I'm basing it on.
When the Vikings were down 33-0 to the Colts and they wanted to go. And it's like, look, I've been to a million sporting events over the years because this is my job. Yeah. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm fine with. They wanted to leave, and then it was the greatest comeback in NFL history. So, for the record, I had the exact same take on Saturday. I go, it's up to you guys. I'll stay as long as you guys want. I'll leave whenever you guys are ready. We stayed the whole time.
Oh!
We were there for the game winner. Now, full disclosure, we had decided when the third period had started, or third overtime period had started.
That was it.
Yeah, because they had closed most of the concessions at the end of regulation, so there was like one open, and the line was epic. We're like, we're starving.
Yeah.
Look, the little one was starting to hit the wall, even though she had tons of fun, but we're 3 overtimes in. This is full 2 games here, right? 2 full games. Right. So we're like, if nobody scores by the end of this one, we got to get moving. And then they scored. So we saw it. Super cool. What a cool
hardcore.
And then it was worth it.
Guy.
Totally worth it. And the girls had the best time ever. It was super fun.
That's awesome.
And then they closed it out last night, 2-1 with the another overtime winner.
Yeah,
There's only one winner.
So for the second consecutive season, the Walter Cup goes to the Minnesota Frost.
Let's go.
6 teams in the league now. It'll be 8 next year. So a little expansion draft with Seattle and Vancouver.
Ohio.
They are?
Yep.
Yes.
Who else?
They're also adding Royalton, Minnesota.
Oh. Where the Dairy Queen used to be?
Yeah, they tore down that Holiday. They're putting a giant stadium there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's right. And
What's
it'll
the
be
team
attached to a
name?
Holiday. It's going to be called the Royalton Redbags.
Oh, wow.
Which is a special type of lemur.
Oh.
When they're in heat.
Yeah, well, you know a little about them, I guess.
I know a little bit about the red bag of a lemur. More of the Power Trip Morning Show, including front page sports after this on the Fan.
The Fan.
Hey! 6:04 Power Trip Morning Show. It's Tuesday. It's not Monday, so that's that. Right? That's good.
Good start,
weekend.
yeah.
Yep, hope you all enjoyed Memorial Day and took a moment to remember. Johnny Bones is over there. Max O is over here.
Hey.
Cast of Thousands. And it's time to talk sports, because that's all we talk about.
Yay!
We read those newspapers, and then we roll them up and eat the sons of bitches when we're done.
Time now for Front Page Sports, presented by Holiday Station Stores.
Holiday Station Stores, you can buy a couple of Red Bulls and get one free, and you can mix and match any flavors you want at Holiday, including that white peach, like their summer edition. Get whatever you want. But buy 2, get 1 free Red Bull at Holiday for a limited time.
You got that right.
All right, there's 2 giant stories in sports. I don't really care which one goes first, so John, bonus, I'm going to let you pick. Do you want option A or option B?
Option B.
Option B. Tyrese Halliburton's dad will be allowed back at the game.
Really?
He will be. Now, this is you may be saying, well, finally, our national nightmare is over.
Why? Why do we care?
He's not allowed to sit in the normal seats. He does have to stay in a suite.
Oh.
House arrest.
So nowhere near Giannis or anybody from the Knicks.
Does he have an ankle bracelet on?
So, fantastic news that Tyrese Halliburton's dad will be back at the games. Let me ask you this. If a normal person, if a non-family member had walked onto the court and essentially stared down Giannis and attempted to fight him, would he ever be allowed back into an NBA arena?
I can't believe they're allowing it.
No.
Yeah, I can't either. That's why it's topic A or topic B. It's one of the biggest sports stories in the world.
That's a good point. He's not wrong. Yep.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So you want to continue on that one, or you want to flip to the other one?
Let's flip to the other one. I can hardly wait.
The 56th annual World Series of Poker starts today. I would play the song that annoys these guys, but then we'd have to pay a $5,000 fine.
The good news is that I picked correctly.
What are you talking about? Event number 1, the Mystery Millions today. 100 events over the next month and a half.
Yeah.
This was the one that a year ago, my buddy DJ Buckley pulled a $1 million bounty. That's pretty cool. Winning $1 million
That sounds
Out
awesome.
of nowhere.
All your buddies win.
They sure do. And I just need one of them to win this year, and it'll win me $100 because you bet against, again, the state of Minnesota. You say out of the 100 events, they will not win a bracelet this year.
I did say that.
You do like cheering against Minnesota.
I do, yeah. I do. But I also like winning money from you because as long as it's not a chicken bet, I win.
Wish we could, if I draft 10 Minnesotans and somehow we increase the size of the bet if they win.
No, just leave it like it is.
Man.
Doesn't Corey get all the chicken he wants anyway?
For free, yeah. Just ask my wife.
Just ask.
The Minnesota Timberwolves lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder 128-126. The Thunder go up 3-1 in the series. The Wolves had 21 turnovers and had just 2 shots in the first half. Two. But Nickeil Alexander-Walker was fantastic. He had 23 points, 5 of 8 from 3. It felt like he hit way more than that.
I thought he was 7 of 8 from 3.
Yep,
Same.
and then Dante DiVincenzo the same, 5 of 8 from 3, and he had 21 points. So we finally got monster games out of those two. The bad news is we had 5 points out of Julius Randle and 16 points out of Ant. So 21 points combined between those two. Meanwhile, SGA had 40 on his own. Jalen Williams had 34. So they combined for 74 points. So their big two score 74, our big two score 21. And then Chet Holmgren had an unbelievably efficient offensive night. A couple of monster dunks, a couple of well-timed killer threes that he drilled right in people's faces. Game 5 in OKC on Wednesday. I mentioned it earlier. It felt like they got every offensive rebound in the world, but both teams had 19 offensive rebounds. I just can't believe that's the case, but that's what the box score says.
Me neither. I bet OKC scored way more off of theirs, though. It just felt like theirs were they're the same number, but not the same weight, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If you look at all those stats you just said, Cor, that's OKC's A game. Yeah. And we lost by 2. That's what's so frustrating about this. That's the best, that the Thunder can do, right? They played well. They played great defensively on Ant. They played well on Randall. I don't know what was up with Randall. And we lost by 2.
So one of the interesting things about last night was after Terrence Shannon's monster game on Saturday was how much are they going to use him last night? Well, I think what we learned is Finch trusts him offensively, doesn't trust him defensively.
Right. Correct. Especially because they were going right at him.
A couple of turnovers, and then they went at him a couple times. Exactly. So they scored on him pretty easily. Too. So he scored something like 9 points in 8 minutes, but he might have given up 6 or 8 in the handful that he played as well. So I think, man, he does provide a spark, but how do you leave him out there if they're going to run plays right at him after those 2 points? So I don't know. Not a lot of minutes out of Shannon, but man, was he electric on Saturday night.
You guys really haven't talked.
The shoulder definitely affected the minutes too.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
He did tweak his shoulder.
Yes. Yeah, I got slammed into in the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys haven't really talked about the officiating, and I'm wondering how. I was in the arena, so I didn't get to watch the television coverage of it. How much do they talk about or replay, some of the various phantom fouls and such, or reach-ins that weren't called on television? Did they talk much about the officiating on the television broadcast?
I mean, they talked about
it was a topic in the arena. I will tell you, it was a topic inside the arena.
They were actually, and I don't know much about what's going on, so it was very helpful to me. They were pretty good about saying, good thing they didn't challenge that, because, in fact, at one point, the guy was like, I think you should get fined if you tell your coach to review something that is not, right. Where you're wrong. Because everybody calls for a review on everything. Sure. I think it was very beneficial to not be in the house for that part of it, because everything they showed was, well, not everything, but most of the things they showed, they got right.
And that was after the Alexander Walker block on SGA, and he thought he got all ball, and he blatantly did not. And that's when Richard Jefferson was like, no, that's not a...
It's every single foul in the arena. Everybody was like... Just because it's SGA, but everyone at the Target Center was appalled at every single call.
Well, and they weren't afraid to replay, ticky-tack stuff that was being called against the Wolves over and over and over again up on the big screen.
It's weird because there were moments where Chet would just get thrown around, and they're like, play on.
Yeah.
Right.
And then SGA goes into the lane, and you're like, what? He fell over. Like, yeah.
So for the last couple of years of watching, Cat and Ant complain after every non-foul, and you're like, man, I wish we would just stop complaining and just get back on defense, right? And that was like the worst thing you could do is complain after every call.
Right.
Now, the epidemic in the NBA that has to stop is every player after every call does the twirly hand motion, like review it. It's like, guys, they only have like a very limited, what is it, 1 or 2 challenges a game?
One.
Unless you get it right?
One blown one, right?
Yeah, one blown one. So it's like, you can't challenge 90 plays, but the guys... And Rudy's probably our worst example because Rudy wants everything reviewed, and then you see the replay and you're like, Rudy, you hacked the crap out of that guy.
You hit him across the face.
Yeah, but they made a point on because the Wolves challenged early last night an out of bounds play and were right.
Yeah.
But somebody on the broadcast even mentioned, like, is it even worth it? Even if you're right, you're gambling your challenge over an out-of-bounds play in the first quarter.
You better be really sure you're right.
You better be 100% sure
you're
you're
caught
wasting
on camera and everything, right?
We saw that in, was it game 2, where OKC thought that there was like a foul, and you could see the coach go, it's our ball. We're not challenging the play.
Right.
It went out of bounds or something. And why would we challenge it? No. It's our ball. Relax.
Or even last night, it came in handy for them to have kept it in their pocket because obviously there was a huge overturn late in the game with the foul on Chet.
Yep. Although even on that one, the Wolves got the ball back.
Right.
Yeah, because it hit off his head.
And I also noticed, there's a couple times where they'll foul Rudy and they think it's not a foul. And they're like, yeah, but what's the downside here? Rudy on the free throw line?
Yeah, correct.
Right, yeah. I did see one of the Thunder players do this when Rudy was at the free throw line. I'm like, brother, Rudy Gobert's at the free throw line. That's what your coach wanted, okay?
Relax.
Yeah, so somebody asked SGA about the whole free throw merchant nickname after the game, and he basically is like, I don't care, I never have.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
I feel like the crowd does that more for the ref's benefit than they do for his benefit.
I don't know. I like that guy.
SGA?
Yeah, I don't know why. I seem to like him, even though he doesn't play for us. Am I wrong?
He seems like a likable dude.
He's
just really hard to watch.
He's really talented.
But it is weird how playoff series will do that, right? It'll make you hate Luka. It'll make you hate
Alex
the Joker
Caruso,
or Jamal Murray.
Corey.
It'll make you hate me. So it is weird that the Wolves fans are dumping on SGA when he seems like a good dude and seems like a guy that's easy to cheer for. But his play style, though, is really frustrating to watch. It's not. I don't know, there were times last night he played unbelievably well offensively and, would pull up in the lane and just drill it right in his cousin's face or something.
Whoa.
But when he does get knocked over by a stiff breeze and then he's flailing and the free throw merchant thing comes out, you're like, are you kidding me?
You know what? Here's something you guys can explain to me. So dude was talking on the broadcast last night about when SGA feels an arm go in over top of his arm, he pretends to shoot even if he's not shooting.
Yeah.
Is that an automatic foul no matter what? And why doesn't every player do that on every play?
Well, no, and I think the part of the broadcast you're referencing is even somebody said, look, this is available. It may have been Richard Jefferson.
Yes, it was.
This is available to every player in the league, but nobody has mastered the art of initiating that contact and making that arm hack himself as much as SGA has. That's why they call him the free throw merchant. He generates so many free throws because he gets that whistle. So,
and it is a skill as much as we hate it. There is a skill to it because like Richard Jefferson said, anyone could do it, but there's a reason that he gets it a lot.
Do they sweep whoever they play in the East?
It's going to be tough.
It's hard to sweep anybody.
If it's Indiana, I don't think so. But maybe they could sweep.
That's Hawk
they
squad.
Could sweep
That's
New
my
York.
squad. I like basketball.
If it's Indiana, if the Pacers are down a game or two to start the series, I would just have Tyrese Halliburton's dad punch SGA in the face and see what happens.
I'd have Paul Bettany do it.
Paul Bettany.
Is it his birthday? Happy birthday, Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
He's an actor. I mean, no, hang on.
What?
She's an actress.
Oh.
Yeah.
The guy that plays the Vision.
Why did you bring the Vision up? It is his birthday.
Jarvis is.
Yeah, poor Jarvis.
Come on, Jarvis.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys make me depressed with all the losing talk.
Well, and basketball.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
How about them twins?
How about them twins?
Hey.
They didn't win yesterday, though.
No, they did not.
Baba baby, Baba baby.
Yeah, they're being a bunch of Baba babies.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, can't win them all.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. Statistically, you could.
Well, yeah, you could.
I guess you could.
I mean,
Sure,
Detroit
you
might.
could. Yes, you could.
That's school.
Isn't that crazy, John Bonus? If you play baseball for the rest of eternity, right? For the rest of time, somebody would go 162-0.
Like the monkeys with the typewriters?
Exactly.
Yeah, and the monkeys with the typewriters would write up a good game story on it. Sure, yeah, right.
Yep. We would have to play forever, but it would happen. Isn't that nuts?
Hey, what's your name? Meat Sauce?
Yes, sir.
What was the name of the malt shop you worked at where you got real heavy?
Snuffies.
Yep, that's it. Is that in Minnetonka?
Yeah, there's one in Minnetonka. There's one in Edina.
Is that the one you worked at, the one in Minnetonka?
Yes, sir.
Worked at is a loose term.
Yeah, worked at is a loose term.
Is the one you ate at the one in Minnetonka?
You are correct, sir. Yes.
I'm with you, brother. Here's the thing. They're finally fixing my ceiling.
Yeah.
In my townhouse. No. No.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Just malts from the ceiling.
You guys do this too? Yeah. So I had to get an Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I am right down by there. And so this morning I was getting gas. I looked over and there was Snuffies. I was like, oh, that's it right there.
Oh, there's lunch.
Yeah.
There's your plans for later
Great
today.
spot.
That's a great area, dude.
Yeah, yes it is.
That's like a mile and a half walk to the lake is right there.
Nice spot.
Yeah, man. And the dude I am renting the Airbnb from, obviously is a listener. And so that's cool. It's a great little house. It's cool, man. I think I might just live at Airbnbs for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Do it.
That'd be good plan.
It's probably expensive.
Yeah. What do you care?
But I'll tell you this.
So are mortgages. So is real estate.
I'll tell you what, though. I get my money out of their towels. Oh, I said that.
That guy's listening.
I apologize, sir. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm sorry, sir. Me and Abigail. It's okay. We're fine. We're not doing anything wrong. It's fine.
Oh.
I don't know if I like those two sentences combined.
Nope.
That was a weird thing to follow up the towel conversation with.
Weird. Abigail's there too. We're inviting Jack McBrayer over tonight for a party.
The guy in...
Happy birthday, Jack.
Yep.
What really matters is next. Scores and stats around the world of sports. Marnie Gellner, 42 minutes from now. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
KFAN.
Morning show 6:25. It's a beautiful morning, Johnny Bones.
It is,
isn't it?
It's nice out there.
Gorgeous sunrise.
Yes,
Gorgeous sunrise.
And last night's sunset was beautiful.
You're beautiful.
You're beautiful.
Thanks.
Oh, thanks, James Blunt.
Oh, thank you. Great songs.
Crummy weather today,
I could
right?
use a Blunt.
It's gonna rainy rain.
Zach could use a James.
Yep.
That's right.
So good, Tommy.
Is Zach on vacation again?
No, he'll be here at 7, I assume.
Cool.
Man, a week in the Diz is a lot, but they love it.
Yeah, they sure do. They love it.
You got to have a lot of patience in the Diz,
Yeah,
especially
sure
for
do.
a week.
You sure do. Yes, yeah.
Good luck, Sauce. In 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I have a hunch you're going to hate it. Louis will freaking love it.
That's all that matters.
Of course, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's Sauce in 4 years.
I don't like
Probably.
it.
Yeah.
And there's no Louis, only Steve. I don't care.
Louis going to love those lines.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Saucy's childlike enough that he'll enjoy it.
Yep, and
Yeah,
here's,
but he hates waiting.
I don't like
and
waiting.
here's Kel talking to the two of them.
That's going to be a problem.
And here's Lawyer Lambert.
I'm not a racist.
Constantly refused.
Whoa.
Nobody said that, Jeff.
Lambert.
You got something you want to fess up to?
Wow.
Hey, can I stand up for your dad for a second? He has faced numerous allegations of racism. But how many have been proven? Zero.
Well, how can you argue with this?
I'm not a racist.
Okay.
He's got a good
I guess
point.
you win.
Sounds like he has a rage issue, but not a racism one.
Sounds like he's got vocal cord problems.
Yeah.
It's like he wants a Slim Jim.
And that's my fault, by the way. I messed up his vocal cords.
Wow. When did Macho Man yell that?
God, Macho Man as a trial lawyer would be epic. Right? No more questions.
One more question. No more questions.
That's what Sauce's dad was saying to all the brown people, apparently.
Well, again, you can't prove that. Never been proven. What really matters is scores and stats around the world of sports, and in between, Chris changes your life with something else, and it's brought to you by our friends at Carboni's and Carboni's Pizzeria. Like 30-ish locations, man.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's that restaurant right by Snuffy's that it looks fancy right there on the same corner? A Basso or something like that?
Spasso.
Yeah, is that Italian?
I think so. Yeah, that's a good spot.
You think you've never been there?
That's a good spot. I've been there, yeah.
You're asking Sauce about a foreign word?
Yeah.
I'm expecting it.
No, I just don't
Well, hang on. In fairness to Chris, he asked him about a place to eat in Minnetonka. He should know it like the back of his hand.
It's like asking me about pornos.
About pornos.
Remember, you just referenced one over here. I was like, oh, yeah. That's 14 minutes and 33 seconds long.
Yeah.
Which is 14 minutes too long.
Yep. We were trying to tell Max where he could learn how to drive, and Hawk and I had a couple of great spots for him.
Yeah, there are a couple of websites.
Chris, can I do sports and then quickly do What Really Matters? Can I do both in round one?
I think that'd be great.
Okay, great.
You go right ahead.
That'd be nice.
The Rays beat the Twins 7-2.
Yeah.
Correa hit a 2-run home run in the 7th to make it 3-2 Rays, but then the Rays added 4 in the 8th. Twins are 29-24. They play again today at 6:05. Joe Ryan versus something called Taj Bradley. But what really matters is this. John Bonus, during the last break, you told me you might have met your new dog.
Oh.
Yes. Yep, we had a meet and greet on Saturday. Where, by the way, I ran into Dave Sinekin. Hey. He was also looking for a new dog.
Was he?
What happened to Double T?
Yeah.
And we put our name in for a dog, one of the dogs that we had met, and turns out we were a good match. And so the dog came over to visit us yesterday at about 3:30 in the afternoon. And Rosa is her name, 4-month-old puppy, partial terrier. I'm not sure what the other half is. Wired-haired terrier is clearly one of them, one of the breeds. And yeah, I think it's going to be a done deal. It's just going to be a matter of how soon we get her. It could be within. It could be. Honestly, I think it could be as early as today or tomorrow, or it could be like a week and a half. Which kind of depends. I got to get some stuff done.
I've never done anything like that before. So does the dog catch an Uber to your house?
Is it like speed dating? What do you mean you were a good match? Like you have money and she's a dog?
You didn't kick it when it walked in the door?
Did you get it high yet?
So the way the meet and greet works is, you show up at a place. This was Pump House Creamery in South Minneapolis, which is an ice cream place.
What a name.
I thought you would enjoy that.
That's why you sped through that.
I'm here for the dogs.
Oh, you guys have ice cream?
Cynic walks in the door. Just, where do I put my keys? Sure, I want a dog too. That's why I'm here.
What are all these dogs doing here? This is weird. I'm not leaving.
You looked at Bonus and went, sure, I'm in.
I'm not totally against it. I just didn't know.
Good to see you, Dave, but that's an awful lot of leather.
I'm sorry, John. Was that the end of your story?
Anyway, so you were saying you were at the Pump House Creamery?
And Sinekin was in a ton of leather?
That's funny. I went to the Pump House Oils changing store as well. A whole bunch of pump houses here.
Pump House Creamery.
Okay, go ahead. Sounds
Anyway, you meet, there's a bunch of dogs there, and you end up interacting with all the dogs. I could have taken home all 8 of them, any of the 8 dogs. There was no dog that I was like, oh, this one is absolutely the one. But Chrissy had specifically identified one that was going to be there because that was on the site that she wanted to look over. And then we met Rosa there, and then also met another one named Gwendolyn. They were both great dogs. And so at the end of the day, you go and just fill out an application and put down, your preference of the 3 dogs. Turns out the number one pick that we'd gone there to see already had several other interested parties. I think the dog that Dave Sinekin was interested in already had several interested parties. He thought he was probably not going to be lucky enough to get it. But somehow we ended up, I don't know how that matching process works. Later that day, we got an email saying you matched up well with Rosa. And we were like, great. That was our second pick anyway. And frankly, I didn't have a first
Don't
pick.
tell her that.
No, but it sounds like this is a lot like dating. That if you just go to one of these hookup joints, like the Pump House Creamery,
man.
if you just shoot for the 10, well, the whole bar wants the 10. You got to find one at bar close that you're like, that one will do.
Right.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Slump Buster, Rosa. And also, when it comes to Gwendolyn or Rosa, I'm not saying those are bad names, but don't you get to pick the name? The dog can relearn a different name.
Yeah, well, we debated that.
Princess
because,
call her Pump House.
Rosa's only had that name for a week and a half.
For a week and a half.
Yeah,
she can change the
name. She can
absolutely
change it, but she learned it within like the second day, according to the owner. And then we were kind of like, ultimately, Chrissy was like, she was playing with other names. I said, all things equal, the fact that she already has her name down, I'm okay with just staying with that name. Mm-hmm. And then she loves the song. She loves Bruce Springsteen, or Rosalita is one of her favorite songs. Yeah. So I think we're probably going to stay with Rosa. So.
Good thinking.
Yes. Well done. So, Max, if you're interested in watching a dog, we're on vacation. Yeah, we've got it this time.
I live close enough that I can leave the weed at home now.
Just smoke it on the way.
Exactly.
Princess Rosa.
Yeah, you can take Princess Rosa for a walk over to your place to pick up the weed. There you go. Yeah.
Well, she doesn't want to go by my place. She might get sold for fentanyl.
She's a princess.
If she ever went to Max's house, that would be the second time she's been to the Pump House Creamery.
That's awesome. Good for you, dude.
Yeah, that's
for you. Cool. Doggies are the best.
Yeah, so we might be getting to training a puppy, which we're not expecting to get a puppy, but I think we're going to get a puppy.
All right,
good for you.
Oh, dogger.
Shout out to the Minnesota Frost, who won the Walter Cup for the second year in a row. They win 2-1 in overtime, and Minnesota's very own Liz Shepard's your overtime game winner. She's from Mound, Minnesota, I guess.
I love Mound.
But she scored technically the clinching goal last year. So back-to-back years, she has the clinching championship goals.
10,000 people yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
How about that?
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it was
it's all
sweet.
happening.
It was a good vibe on Saturday. Yeah, everybody seemed super nice.
If we were to fill the Timberwolf with female players, do you think we'd win the championship?
Yes.
If we played the Thunder, no.
I
mean, I think the Thunder would run that team out of the gym. But I see what you mean in terms of our ladies win.
Bonus's new dog could take it to the rim better than Rudy Gobert.
Well, she's been to the pump house.
Yeah, honestly, that's the dumbest part about Air Bud is like, how would a golden retriever catch? And we've learned it's not that different than letting Rudy try to catch the ball. Put Air Bud out there.
That's the part that you don't.
That's the part that makes no sense to me. Sure, is the dog's ability to catch.
Yeah, Hawk loves that.
The rest of it holds up. It makes sense. I've never seen it. What really matters is this.
Oh, it's my turn already?
Sure.
All right, whatever, man. Well, let me get over here then. Did you know, by the way, that Todd Bridges is still alive?
Shout out to Todd Bridges.
He's from Different Strokes.
Right.
Yep.
And he's had a bunch of issues, you know. Today's his birthday. He's 60. But
he's 60.
He's 60.
I'm 58. I forgot.
The young lady, yeah, right. The young lady, Dana Plato, passed away.
Yep.
The young gentleman who was short passed away.
Gary Coleman.
Mr. Drummond passed away. Mm-hmm. I just took for granted Todd Bridges had as well, but he's still alive and he's 60 today.
Yeah, if you were doing a Deadpool in the 80s,
jeez,
Todd Bridges would have been the first pick.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact that he's still standing is a little surprising.
Yeah.
Out of that group, I'm saying, out of that show, you would have been like, Todd's going to be the first one to go.
Yeah, and he's had his battles.
He's had his battles, but he's still holding on, which is good.
Holding on.
Good for Todd. What a Todd.
Hold on for one more day.
Oh, please.
Sorry.
Does that count as the what really matters?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was that. Well, it matters to Todd.
It matters to Todd.
It matters to Todd.
New York and Indiana tonight, 7 o'clock. The Pacers are up 2-1 after New York came back from 20 down in Game 3 to basically keep their season alive. That would have been big trouble, but they're back in this thing. And yes, Tyrese Halliburton's dad will be allowed back at the game after missing the last 8.
Thank God.
Thank God.
It wasn't the same without him.
Yeah.
What's the line?
I think it's 2.5.
Line.
Is it really only 2.5?
I think so. That's what I have this morning.
Indiana at home?
Yeah.
At 2 Brute.
See here.
Wow.
That series has been amazing so far.
Well, yeah, that game 1 was crazy.
2.5.
Yep, DraftKings says Pacers minus 2.5. The over-under is 220.5. But what really matters is this.
Line.
I'll take Indiana all day if anybody wants action on that.
Hogs?
No. Yeah. No, I ain't doing that. Nah.
Core?
No.
Nah.
Come on, Hogs.
No, I ain't doing it.
You got to gamble more.
Why? I don't have to do anything.
You don't?
No,
this isn't Russia?
No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. How about Speaking of, I don't have, what's the Charles Manson bit where he says, I don't have
to. I think it.
I'm 99.9% sure Nas Reed walked into the stadium yesterday in a Charles Manson shirt.
Like one of his personal shirts that he...
No, like with Charles Manson's face on it. Yeah, one of his personal
shirts. What if it was Jesus? And you got it confused.
Yeah, no, that literally is.
Okay, good. Thank God.
And the Wolves, I don't think the Wolves Twitter account knows because they posted it.
Yeah.
That's Charles Manson.
Yeah.
That's Nas Reed, brother. That's Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Well, kind of fits last night because the rest of the team was trying to be the ones that killed Oklahoma City, and honestly, Nas didn't have much of a role in it.
Well played.
So he kind of stayed out of it and said, I don't have to. I just think it.
You need to go on down to the Deep Sea Creamery or whatever it is.
Deep Sea Creamery? It's a Freudian slip.
Under the sea.
It's a Pump House Creamery.
That's the one.
Again, hear me out. Maybe Nas Reed just loves the Beach Boys.
Yeah, maybe
he does.
Right? He's a fan of the music. He likes surf rock.
What if one of his buddies gave him that shirt and said, "This is Pope John Paul IV." Oh, okay.
All right, sure.
This shirt has been blessed. Now throw it on there and go dunk.
I mean, what else?
I don't know.
All right.
Man, let's when we go to Detroit Lakes in like a month and change, and we're going to Duluth next month too. Let's all just wear shirts of serial killers. And then not mention him.
Yeah.
Zach will take Richard Ramirez for obvious reasons.
Why is that?
Because he's got abs. More of what really matters after this on The Fan.
Fan.
Carboni's Pizzeria wants to fuel your playoff party. Visit one of their 30-plus locations to enjoy delicious pizza and get ready for the playoff run. Find your nearest Carboni's today at carbonispizza.com.
Thank you, Maxo. 6:45. Good morning, everybody. Julius Randle. What in the world happened in the loss yesterday?
I got to figure out a way to get myself involved in actions. I think I didn't take my first shot in the second half to like 20 seconds in the third quarter. So it's like I got to figure out a way to get myself in position to be more aggressive rather than just like stand there and spectating or trying to crash the glass or I can just find other little things to do as well.
Yeah, do something.
Yep, a lot of the same thoughts out of Ant and Julius Randle last night that they were just like, there wasn't much for us to do.
But it's
I don't know. It's the Western Conference Finals. Find something to do.
Isn't it weird though? It's like, how did you not figure that out? Like halfway through the first quarter. Oh, I'm not doing much. I need to do something here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
For the most part, I thought they both did a good job of finding other people, and that is reflected in the way the scoring was. Like Ant was driving in the basket and dishing to a three, and the threes were being made on a regular basis. It's just that when the offense stagnates, you do need somebody to kind of start things up and get the flow going, and they seem to be unable to do that.
And that was Ant's comeback when he was asked about struggling. He's like, well, they were double teaming me. Like, my guys were making shots, so I don't know if you would say I was struggling. It's like, well, he's not wrong.
No, he's not.
Because if everything you just said, John, is true, right? You're beating a double team, you're getting into the lane and kicking out, and then Dante or Nikhil is drilling a three. That is a win. It doesn't matter who scores as long as the play was efficient. But as Stephen A. Smith was melting down at halftime, if you're one of the greatest players on the planet and you're the, quote, next Michael Jordan, and you have two shots,
can't do that
in the Western Conference Finals at halftime. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of defense they're playing on you. It doesn't matter how hot the rest of the guys on the team are. Two shots is never enough, regardless of what's happening in one half.
You would have heard a similar rant from me at Section 106 yesterday. At halftime, anybody that was around me was like two shots.
Yeah, it's just not enough.
Right. I mean, Jaden and Nikhil kept us in that. That game could have gotten out of hand.
And DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo was amazing as well. And it's just kind of crazy. The StatMuse posted it. The Wolves led the game in rebounds, assists, points off turnovers, fast break points, points in the paint, second chance points, free throw attempts, free throw makes, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and free throw percentage, and they still lost.
Yep.
Goodness sakes.
Turnovers.
When, last really 4 minutes of crunch time,
And the free throw.
Last 4 minutes of crunch time, Nah and DiVincenzo did not leave that court.
No.
Yeah.
Chris Finch was relying. He wanted both of those guys out there, and he was right. Like
they were feeling it. Both of them
100%
felt
right.
it.
The Wolves just couldn't get any stops. I think it said on ESPN yesterday that the Thunder were 9 of 10 on open shots in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get any stops. They kept getting closer, but OKC kept them at arm's length the whole time. Yeah.
Yep. Oklahoma City scored 38 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And the Wolves scored 41.
And even when OKC was messing up, they still found a way to make it work. Like, SGA falls on the ground. He throws it in between somebody's legs, and Jalen Williams just absolutely nails a killer three. It's unbelievable. They get a bad bounce, and Alex Caruso, boom, under the basket. It's unbelievable.
And I'll suggest that doesn't happen if they don't have the lead. That team doesn't shoot as well when they don't have the lead. They are front-running team, and we could never get to the point where they were feeling the pressure as opposed to the Wolves feeling
What did we lead? 36 seconds or something the entire game is what I read, something like that.
Yeah, but in the fourth quarter, we came back and tied it. I'm like, we may have a shot.
Yeah, it felt like they were going to finally crack that seal, and then they just couldn't get over that.
Well, we're on the brink of an absolute disaster for the NBA because, look, Sauce, I know you love the conspiracy theories, right, that it's New York and L.A. and L.A. and New York. Now, the Knicks still might get there, but if they don't, we are likely headed for an Oklahoma City and Indianapolis, Indiana Final Two.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Hideous.
Right, even if it goes the other way and it's Minneapolis and New York, if New York's involved, the league will be happy. But it looks like it's going to be the Thunder and the Pacers, and that is going to be a nightmare for the league. But whatever, good luck to them.
Yeah.
What really matters is this.
You make a great point.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I was proud of it.
Yeah, okay, good.
It was well thought out.
Yeah, you should be.
It was on this day in what year, gentlemen, that the Golden Gate Bridge opened in California?
1924.
33.
34.
1914.
1937. 1937.
It felt like a WPA project.
It's been destroyed by every monster that ever walked through there. Just go under it or over it, guys.
Yeah. Godzilla's destroyed
it
so
hard.
Godzilla, lots of talents. High jumping, not one of them.
Well, then Limbo.
The little Fosbury flop.
Could you just
go under it, Godzilla.
Yeah, he can swim.
Yeah, there's an old dude whose job is to keep the bridge good. He's like, damn it, Godzilla.
Yeah, son of a bitch.
Just go under it.
Yeah, man. Kong will help you.
The first time he was fine, but the third time he couldn't pick a different way.
Yeah.
There's other ways into town.
You dumb son of a bitch.
There's a big freeway right there.
Yeah, go around. Come on.
This is not the end of a race.
No.
You should go to New York.
Yeah.
Carolina 3-0 over Florida. They stay alive in the Eastern Conference Finals. They trail, though, 3-1. Game 5 in Carolina tomorrow at 7 o'clock. What really matters is this.
You're right about that, buddy boy.
Thanks.
It was on this day in 1977, one of the greatest movies ever filmed. Ended up winning 15 Academy Awards. Smokey and the Bandit.
What? What?
Starring Burt Reynolds and Jackie Gleason.
That can't be a good movie.
Oh, well.
It's a fun movie. It was a fun movie if you were 10 years old. Let me say that.
Sure.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. They had to get that beer down the road.
Yeah, that's right.
As quickly as possible. And Jerry Reed said there's only one way to do it. To have a guy in a Trans Am with a sweet mustache pick up a hooker.
Who's Sally Field, right?
Yep, right.
Yep.
And drive as fast as he can, drawing the cops away from me. And guess what? Spoiler alert, it worked.
Yep.
And Burt Reynolds got laid.
Aren't there multiple Smokey and the Bandits?
Sure there are, but there's only one that matters. The first one.
Yeah. Buford T. Justice.
Yeah.
You know who's really underrated, though?
Bothersome.
Justice?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Buford?
No.
T?
No.
The Bandit?
The Bandit, yeah. The Bandit never gets his credit. Never gets his due.
You got something.
Dallas at Edmonton tonight, 7 o'clock. Edmonton up 2-1 in the Western Conference Finals. The Oilers won 6-1 in Game 3. It looks like, unless something strange happens, obviously this series is only 2-1, but the other one, Florida's on the brink of winning. If the Panthers finish off the Hurricanes and the Edmonton Oilers do what it looks like they're going to do and finish off the Dallas Stars, we would have a rematch in the Stanley Cup Finals between the Oilers and the Panthers. They squared off a year ago.
Oh, no.
Can anybody pull a rabbit out of their hat and tell me the last two teams that rematched in the Stanley Cup Finals? Or final, if you're a hockey fan.
Was it recent? Can we get a hint?
I mean, this century.
It was the Oilers.
That doesn't
Nope.
help.
Dallas.
Red Wings.
Red Wings is one of them. So we know that conference.
That doesn't help.
I don't know
at
which
all.
teams are in which
Hold
conference.
on.
Penguins.
Colorado.
No, I think that's the same conference.
Caps.
Florida.
Tampa.
Red Wings.
Boston.
Who else has been pretty good?
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Yeah, no. This says, let me fact check this, because this says Red Wings in Penguins.
That's what it said.
Were the Red Wings in the West at that point? Because aren't they in the East now?
Right.
Hang on a second here. Let me double check this. I didn't fact check this when I read this yesterday.
Yeah, what?
The story I read said 08-09. Those two teams squared off. Yeah, right now they're both in the East. Were the Red Wings formerly in the West?
The Pinglings.
Because I can't believe that the Penguins were, right? Stanley Cup Finals. Hang on a second here. Let's fact check.
Whoa.
Stanley Cup Finals. Rhode Island. Neither a road nor an island. Discuss.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Hogs Daddy.
Yeah.
Did you go to Zorba's?
I did not. I went by there, but it was so packed, and Tommy
Yeah.
and his whole family was there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's when you texted me.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know if I can go in there. I'll wait
Yeah.
for them to come to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's fun, though.
Yeah.
Man.
Grandview's the best.
I love Grandview. I love it.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time with Kat Perkins on Saturday as well. She's the best, man. She's
Hey.
been out on the road.
I think she sang at one of the Wolves games recently.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, she's a big star.
Zacho says the Red Wings were in the West until the 2012-2013
See,
season.
there we go. That makes sense.
correct, yeah.
That makes sense. Because it does look like,
They did play each
08,
other.
09, they squared off against each other. The Red Wings won the first one. The Penguins won the second one.
That's right.
Oh.
So there we go. They are both in the East now, but the Red Wings used to be in the West. Gotcha. All right. So first time in what? We're talking 17 years? Or 16 if it's the second one.
I don't know.
Either
man.
way. So we might have a rematch. And then
be
Sauce
sweet.
and I might have to wheel and deal. We'll see.
Last
I
year's
like
was
my
awesome.
Oilers. Yeah, that went 7 last year. The
Dallas
Florida.
is going to come back and win that series.
Ooh, man, I don't know.
No chance.
Edmonton is on fire right now. They got everything going
Yeah,
offensively.
McDavid's back.
You'd think that'd
Yep.
be bigger news.
Well played.
An entire city being on fire.
Oh, well played.
I see what you did there.
I love the dad joke.
I like
It was
you.
a dad joke.
I like you.
From a guy who is longing to dabble in arson, I respect the joke.
You need help.
I don't want to burn an entire city. I just want to burn a house or two that nobody's in. What really matters, though, is this.
It was on this date in what year that after a 5-year run, the final episode of Arsenio Hall aired on Fox?
All right, let's figure this out
The
here.
original time? Because I think it came back, right?
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
don't know.
I think it came back.
This would be the original.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it came back for
I think it hit big late 80s, which means
yeah.
it probably wrapped up about like 93-ish.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Corey. I will say 93.
Yeah, that's my guess, too. 93.
94, you're very close.
Damn it.
I didn't realize it only ran for 5 years. I had no idea.
Yeah, it was.
It had its moment.
I mean,
it had a cultural moment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The dog pound was a big thing, right? People over there are the people who blank, and then they would do the
Yeah.
And Arsenio had that one extremely long finger that made me uncomfortable.
Why?
I don't know. It just looked like he could, I don't know, touch somebody on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Go on.
Calm down. I'm
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
I liked Arsenio. That was a fun show.
Yeah, me too.
I was the right age for that show. I was super excited.
Every time I watch him, I'm like, I should get my prostate checked.
And then you check it on your own.
Maybe not the guy you want to start with. Not right at 45. Maybe like 55. You say, give me the Arsenio.
Yeah, correct. Brilliant.
Marnie Gellner is here. Her team's falling apart, but you never know. It's not over. More with John Bonus and Marnie Gellner after this on The Fan.
The Fan.